now.
All right, welcome to the Let's Discuss Gaming Welcome to episode number 16 of the Let's Discuss Gaming podcast. I am your host, Triple J. Joining me is my co-host, Dr. Games 101.
Hello, people. 16th episode already, guys. Right? Time flies.
Yeah, so it seems like yesterday we were just scrambling to do the first episode somehow.
Yes, we had to sort out with my phone. On my phone with our phones for to call us, talk to us over the BitChute and the Twitch and all. So
Yeah, we weren't even trying Discord yet. At first, we were trying it through Facebook Live. We thought, wow, what a service, and what a letdown it is. Like most things Facebook does.
yes, they make you want to censor you for just posting sensitive stuff like Hitler and puppies and killing puppies and stuff like that. But but pedophiles will galore on Facebook and Twitter like crazy. So.
Okay, this conversation took a really dark turn really quickly.
I'm sorry. I guess you said I have experience dealing with other Twitter users.
3 minutes in. Pace yourself.
Guys, like, goddamn, this is a weird ass podcast.
If anyone out there is looking for a podcast partner, I'm available. Anyway, I'm gonna get into some stuff that's probably controversial.
Of course, I understand.
And I think it should be I think it should be. I think that's what we should start with. IX. Now, how much of we both got the Division from Games with Gold for Xbox One. Have you played Tom Clancy's The Division yet?
Yes, I have, the first Division especially. I love the cinematic reveal trailer back. It came out back around 2014, about 2014,
Okay.
2015, give or take. It was very emotional. It would feel like we're going through that right now as a populace of America all together.
Right.
I played the Division gameplay for the first, I would say, about 4 hours so far, and it took me a while to get past the first part.
What level are you up to?
I just finished taking over the police station. That was the first main mission.
The thing is, you can choose different missions to do and different. Do you remember what level your character is? My guy's a level 15.
I think my character's at least a level 4 or 5.
Okay.
I barely played it though.
Yeah.
I will admit that. So.
But the thing is, about the Division, what I like is I actually teamed up. I forgot exactly what mission it was. It was like the junkyard or something. And I like how you can set up a beacon for help. So like if a mission is too hard for you to complete, other people can join your game and team up with you. And like we were like in this junkyard of some type. I had 2 guys I didn't even know on my team. And like all 3 of us were like trying to revive each other when one of us died, and basically, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have completed the mission I was on. So that's what I really like about the Division. But the thing is, I want to show you a video. Everyone will be able to see it on Twitch, but I'm gonna show it to you through Discord so you can see it. I guess as live as I do, once Discord lets me. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, sure. I'll watch it right now. Hold on.
Alright, just let me show it. I just want to give the person who made the video Zorix S on YouTube. He did a great job with that video.
Very, very riveting. It feels like I feels like New York City every day, even before the apocalypse. So it feels like it every day because there's always someone out there to get you, right? In the middle of Manhattan, in the middle of Queens, middle of Bronx, middle of Brooklyn. You know, Staten Island, I'm not sure about because I've been there in years, so I will admit that. So.
Well, the thing is, what I like about the chorus, the second verse, was like you see how like the guy who looked like he was a taxi driver, he puts on his hat and then he's got his gun and he's shooting.
Oh
and
yeah.
Then you see four civilians. They're just walking down the street. All of a sudden, the background changes. They're all decked out in gear, ready to take on these terrorists. I kind of wish we had the, and I do think some people, it really depends on what state you live in. When it comes to Antifa, the terrorists known as Antifa and Black Bitches Entitled, aka BLM, I think we really should just, they want to terrorize us. We'll show you what we do to terrorists. Again, there's different state laws, like between New York and Georgia. In Georgia, if someone tries to break into my house or threatens my family, I have the right to kill them in self-defense.
The stand your ground approach, yes.
Yeah, it's full castle doctrine, full stand your ground. Basically, if you try to break into my house and you don't live here and you're not family, then I can do whatever I have to under Georgia law.
Here in New York City,
protect myself. Myself or my family.
Yeah, here in New York City, we're like sitting ducks. So even if someone invaded my house, they have to break down the door with a pressurized system because the door we have is bolted shut. Like if you try to break it down, you need something like a very heavy machinery to break down them thing. Because the police can't break it down without utilizing some sort of special lock or to utilize special force with that door because it's literally bolted down to the ground when you lock it. That's how big. Yeah, that's how complex the door is in my apartment.
The second door, like the first door was open all the time, but the second door I couldn't open unless you buzzed me in when I visited your apartment.
Mm-hmm. Because my family got robbery happened, home robbery. It was like a home invasion of some sort.
In the apartment building.
Yeah, before I was born. They were there before I was born. So it happened like 5, maybe 7 years before I was born. And since then we had the apartment door since.
Okay.
So now if motherfuckers would come after me, then go ahead. I'll sit by and just drink beer and be like, yeah, go ahead, break that door down for a while.
Me, I'd be like, yeah, try to break down the door. Just wait till a gunshot comes through from the other side.
Yeah, they'd be tired as fuck. We're breaking down our doors. But if we open the door, let's get in there, boys. Boom! Headshot.
But the thing is, back to the video. I kind of wish, to tell you the truth, if things really got bad enough, I would sign up for something like the Division if it was to take out Antifa or anybody else that's really on our country's ground trying to be a terrorist. Now, would the Army ever accept me? No. I got too many disabilities on file from when I was a child, so I would never pass their physical.
Unless you want to be like a Suicide Squad, like the comics.
Well, not the Suicide Squad, because we'd be the good guys. We'd be trying to protect the people that we care about.
Oh yeah, the good version. I'm sorry. I meant to mention the good version of Suicide Squad. We go in there for the sake of the fact that we want to fight, and we get the training anyway, which is at our own risk. But the catch is that we get a reward of our choosing, like a wish of sorts. You understand? Like it would be nice to have that feeling, or that event.
Or at least some kind of event, like the movie Armageddon, when Bruce Willis wanted his own team in space.
Yeah.
But everyone had their own demands that they wanted before they accepted the mission.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, I kind of wish and I kind of think that people should just you know what? If Antifa wants to terrorize them, give Antifa something to fight over by fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree or do you disagree?
Well, I mean, if Antifa and Black Lives Matter were to reinvigorate the riot slash war zone of sorts of rioting and everything else in the cities, then we have a right to fight back, no matter what, people or as a group or whatever.
To say they did reinvigorate. They already attacked the Portland courthouse again.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That as of like last month, they attacked some Portland, Oregon again.
No, they attacked it again recently.
Oh, like this month?
Like this week.
Wow, I didn't hear that one.
You have to. Tim Pool didn't even talk about it this time. You would have to listen to his IRL podcast when they talked about it.
As well as you have to also watch the Fox News, give some type of coverage of what happened with Portland.
Maybe, you never know. But the thing is, also, I also brought this up on Facebook. No one could answer this, but I asked a bunch of Democratic supporters. I'm like, remember how people were saying this was Trump's America? Well, Biden's been president for over 50 days now. Now what's their excuse? And of course, since people are Democratic supporters can't hold an argument, I was left without an answer from these people who think they know who think they're so smart.
Right.
I also got one person who told me like there was no fraud in the election. There was no evidence of fraud. No, all the fraud claims were basically made up. Yes. And I'm like, really? So I show them a video. I go, people are scanning the same ballots multiple times in the scanning machine. Is that normal? Then I showed a second video. I go, this post office worker admits to backdating ballots, which is illegal. I sent the videos to those persons who said there was no evidence of fraud, and you can hear crickets from that person.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I prove people. That's because the thing is, I think that's probably why people hate me. I'll make claims. I'll have but 9 times out of 10, I'll have the news source to back it up.
If you're ready to sacrifice your livelihood and life for it, like I understand, James, just be aware of the fact that nothing's guaranteed of a pure victory with no consequences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I understand that but at the same time, there was a song, I forget what, I don't know what it's called, I don't know who sang it, but one line was...
I'll come back to me in the next hour. Sorry, go ahead, James. Sorry about that, that's on. I'll go ahead, James. One line of the song was, we'd rather die before we live on our knees. Mm-hmm. And I agree with that 100%, Maybe, it sucks that we have this situation, but at the same time, I'm not going to cower, and I'm not going to stay silent when I'm told to. Yes.
And that's what most of these people want.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the division, like I said, if it really started happening like in my city, I'd have no problem fighting back.
Oh yeah.
So I guess
you might be like in your town, James. It might be called the Division 3 for the next video game.
If they make a third one, yeah.
They should do one in the road community. It might take a while to get from one place to another place in the game, but with a car or motorcycle, they can amp up the gameplay a bit, with those machines and vehicles.
If they do like in the wool community, they have to have transportation.
Yes.
Like Darksiders 2 had like these long open fields that you had to travel through, but at least in Darksiders 2, you could just hit, at least on Xbox 360, you could just hit the left and right bumper at the same time, and Death's horse would come up under you, and you could just ride the horse across these long open fields to get from point A to point B.
Oh,
And like
okay.
when you got to like the mouth of the cave, you could just press both buttons again and your horse would disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something that they should do if they do another. If I mean, the division was New York City, the Division 1. What kind of city was Division 2? Like California?
No, Washington D.C. That's
Oh,
the
Division
main.
Two was Washington.
Yeah, it was the main. The main center is Washington D.C. That because the government collapsed after the few months, if not a couple of years of the main incident in New York City. If what I read, that is. Because
Okay,
I have subscription to the Xbox, not Xbox, Game Informer magazine. So
okay. So
that's
the
my
division.
analysis.
All right. So, but New York and Washington D.C. are both kind of like uh, metropolis type cities. I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know if the division game would work like in a rural city or even like a suburban city.
Well, you can have you use Boise, Idaho, and then use your area, Georgia, and maybe parts of Texas, something like that.
Well, suburban. One misconception about Nashville, even though it's a small city, Nashville, Georgia, like there's a suburban area and like a rural area.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my family lives in the rural area. I live in the suburban area.
Okay.
So, but again, I guess it could work, but it's hard. I haven't played enough of the Division 2. I've only played that for a few minutes. But the Division 1, one thing I do hate is how long it takes to get somewhere
Because there's no transportation, you have to rely
because
on
there's no
foot.
transportation at all. And I think if you're gonna, it's okay if you want to change the environment and make it like a different type of city, like wool, but you have to have a way to get around. Because could you imagine running over wool fields with no way to get around
Yeah, it's like
other than
it's like the video game on Xbox 360 called Defiant. If you ever played that before, basically there's a TV show behind it for sci-fi back like 5 or 7 years ago, and back then it would take me like at least an hour, or at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get from one spot to another spot to where my friends got up to, because I would fast forwarded to their what they were doing. After that, we were finished with our missions, with their missions, I went back to my mission. It took me like 30 minutes to get to that, back to where I started. It was freaking ridiculous.
okay, I've never played that game. I never even heard of it.
It's called Defiant,
But
if I recall correctly.
okay, so but yeah, so that's all I say. I love the division type games, and if they do make a third one, I would love them to try. It would be nice if they try a rural area, but again, you would have to get the transportation problem um, fixed. You just
And
couldn't have people running over fields for 10 minutes just to get somewhere.
and you gotta make it very graceful, meaning that has to be a story center, not just some open world per se.
Right,
It's like an open world
right.
slash story, yes, but make it story so that way you can transfer from one scene to another scene without doing all the legwork or the vehicle work, whatever you want to call it. So,
Well, they did that in the division because like once you visit a place, fast travel is unlocked, and then you can just uh, trans teleport from place to
oh.
place that you've been already.
Unfortunately, only over claimed. I claimed the police station, the first mission. That's it. So I never got that feature yet.
Okay, yeah, you do have to visit places yourself first. Um, and if you haven't been to the specific place that your next mission's going to take place, you do have to go there the long way.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love the division. Um, and I do think also other people should not just be willing to stand up to these homegrown terrorists, but also I was thinking about how people have been forced to shut down their businesses, shut down, and losing their jobs. I think people should just open their business up back up, regardless of what the restriction is in your city. Because take something like New York City, like Queens, Manhattan, Bronx. if everyone opened their business regardless, how are they gonna shut everyone down?
Well, you have the power plant. That's what. I mean, it'll make a big difference. Like they'll turn up their power authority to the point of turn off power to every business throughout New York City because New York City is one big giant grid. So once it's all people want to act like a collective person or persons, the governor of New York, or if not the mayor of New York City, can shut down the power to these places. And oh sure, where I live, we have our own power plant, which obviously now everyone knows where I live. Now why I said that, but but still, it's like okay, who's gonna shut down? Well, if everyone, if especially if you had no generators, so it's all up to the right places of the right timing of the matter. If you have a generator first for your store, go right ahead and do it. But if not, then you have to reorganize.
So if you have a generator or can afford a generator, I say open up because take a big metropolis like city again. If how are the police going to shut down everyone if everyone's opening back up regardless? Or what are they going to do? Send one cop to every business?
There's only 40,000, not even 30,000 cops in New York City, and there's 8 million of us. So it's kind of impossible to go through every single business or person really in that fashionable time.
That's the point. That's the point. I'm saying you don't have to open up back to full capacity. You could still open up business to where people are distanced if you still don't want to catch if you still want to catch COVID.
You really believe in that stuff about COVID-19, James?
Well, my younger brother had it, so.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, though. If the COVID-19 is really that of a big deal, what I'm trying to say is that if it's really that big, is that contagious, then why hasn't affected certain people in certain parts of the United States, but New York City is like a hit and miss. Like we're the epicenter at one point, but then all of a sudden it spread to Georgia, it spread to the southern United States, the Midwest. So it's like a flu, pretty much. It goes up high and goes downward after a few months to a couple of years, like any other pandemic. So why not do that?
My younger brother had it. I don't know how bad it was because he lives in North Carolina. But the thing is, I've heard people having it, and I've just been lucky. My family, even though we live like 5 people in one house, none of us have come down with it.
Right.
So we've been. I told my uncle we were lucky. He's like, we've really been blessed not to have anyone here come down with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe in it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying, but that's why I'm saying, if you want to open up your business, but you're worried about getting sick or you're worried about contracting it, no one's saying you have to open back up to full capacity. Open up to 25%, 50%.
You're right. And plus also too, every business in New York City, I heard right now, especially Manhattan, there's some businesses coming together to file a lawsuit against the city of New York. So if one city can do it, then one other part of the United States can do it too. So.
Yeah, so I mean, Texas is opening up. They should have opened up, from what I heard, this past Wednesday completely.
Okay.
I heard Florida's lifted all restrictions. Connecticut's lifting some. There's other states that are, even if they're not opening up completely, they're open up like 50% or something. So it's kind of like, we would shut down for long enough, but if you're really sick of this, like most people are, just open back up, and you don't have to, and just open up partially if you're worried about catching it.
Oh, yeah.
And if everyone did that, A, everyone would be back to work. B, there wouldn't be the point you demonstrated. There wouldn't be enough cops to shut everyone down.
Unless if they actually brought out the military, then that'd be a different story. Even then, it's only like 1 million soldiers in the army altogether. So it's kind of like, how can you spread out the 1 million people throughout the 1 million soldiers throughout the United States of about 300 million people? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like impossible. It's 300 to 1.
Not to mention, say, take some corporal or enlisted man or captain in the military, and say he has a father that owns a business or a brother that owns a business. You really think he's gonna go? He's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna tell my family not to reopen their business."
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, how willing are the military going to be to basically terrorize their own citizens, the citizens they're supposed to protect, into shutting back down? And same goes for the cops.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a family member that has a business that they run, you know,
Oh yeah.
and but again, it's just a thought, you know.
Oh
But
yeah.
I think that's what would help everyone get over, because there are some people who have just had it for, shutting down for over a year now.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's still some businesses still trying to still stay in there. But if they really want actual change or actual, at least the least amount of risk in it, they should file a class action lawsuit together to the city
Yeah,
or to the government of their choosing, whoever is overseeing their business.
yeah. If I was a business owner and I had a physical spot, Georgia has not really opened up. Well, Georgia really hasn't opened up that much, like it used to. But if I had a physical location, I'd be opening back up,
Oh yeah.
and I'd be like, "You want to shut me down? Come see me."
I'll be like the guy at the gym in New Jersey where he opened up his
Right?
gym and these cops came over and arrested. I think they gave him a citation or some sort of
They
like
find them, from what
fine.
I heard.
Yeah, then all of a sudden he got arrested after the next day or two after
Yeah,
he opened it.
because he refused to shut down.
Yes.
But the thing is, that'd be funny. The cops give me like $250,000 fine. Be like, I can't pay this anyway.
Yeah, especially even if you're a business owner, we can only pay for so much. You know.
Hmm. So I mean, but people also. I mean, because don't get me wrong, elderly people definitely should be staying at home, not nursing home, staying at their home with family.
Well, if they were originally
But
in the nursing home, then I'll leave them there. But not put everyone together in that matter. There's no way you can do
but
that.
yeah, but the thing is, I mean, but the thing is, you save that. That's how it would work. If elderly people have to stay home, okay, but they're the most susceptible anyway.
Yes.
So you're saving as many elderly people as you can, but the people that aren't going to be affected or have little chance of being infected, they're getting back to work.
Oh yeah.
So, but again, but that's just my thought.
Okay.
Okay, the next one, you didn't believe me when I brought this up. Lawnmower game, Next Generation, came out on the Switch.
How does that work?
Um, it's literally a game where you mow lawns. You're like on the sliding lawnmower and you're mowing a lawn.
What? So you attach
Like
your Switch to your lawnmower outside or something and start mowing away like you're actually playing a video game, but you're actually doing it in real life?
you're outside on a riding lawnmower and you're just riding around over the tall grass, cutting the grass, and you gotta keep picking up the gasoline bottles to keep your lawnmower going.
Oh, okay. So it's like something like from one of those levels of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, the game.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors was much better.
Because there's the weed whacker in one of the episodes where everywhere
Oh
on the
yeah.
stage, everyone in the level is literally all weeds. And you have to have a limited weed whacker in order to keep going through it, in a sense.
Okay, but like there was like a bunch of gasoline bottles, and like what you just had to pick one up, then your fuel would be back to 100%. And now, and when I heard about the Lawnmower Man for Super Nintendo, I was like, please tell me this isn't a game about mowing lawns. And it wasn't. Now we do have a game about mowing lawns.
I don't know
Would
how.
you,
Go on.
now this was on the Switch. I don't know if it's on Xbox or PlayStation 4 or 5. Um, But and I heard like this game was like $5. But would you even waste $5 on a game where you mow lawns?
Nope, I would not. It's one thing with some Farmer Simulator. I'll spend $15 on it. Why not? Because you're actually doing more than one thing other than raising cattle or milking cows or anything like that on the farm. So
Yeah, I would have loved to see the board meeting when they came up with Lawnmower Man. It's like what? It's like, how did you think this would be a success? I, I mean, you take one task that people don't want to do in real life and you're putting it in a video game.
Mm.
And like I said, at least if you have a Switch and you got $5 that's putting a hole in your pocket. I don't know if it's gone up since then, since like in the last 2 weeks. But if you got money burning a hole in your pocket, you own a Switch, you can get Lawnmower Man.
That's one of the weirdest games I ever heard. It's gotta be boring as fuck after the first minute. It has to be boring as hell. See, I might as well play League of Legends while I'm at it.
Huh?
I said I might as well play that new game, Legends something. Not League of Legends. That's another game. That's like you have to keep paying money into. Like Son of Legends, some stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so something like that. Except for with this lawnmower thing, it might make you pay like I don't know, like $1 or $2 per gasoline canisters. They keep continuing to play the game.
If they started adding microtransactions, that would just
it would just be pointless. Like you might as well just don't play at all.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I couldn't picture myself spending $5 on that game, which is what it was released for, because it was an indie game. But still, just because it's an indie game doesn't mean you're free from scrutiny if it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if we have anyone that has a Switch and money's burning a hole in your pocket, you can check out Lawnmower Man. You'll be disappointed.
Yes, and now you'll have to turn upside down and do the hanky hocus pocus whatever after that. That's a horrible joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say for my next segue, we go from an indie disappointment to a AAA disappointment.
That's another situation right there.
Marvel's The Avengers. I got an article bringing. I actually got a few articles for these stories. The action role-playing game is getting another change. It's going to take longer to reach the game's max character level because the developer's increasing the XP requirement. Apparently, according to the developer, the quick level ups and rapid XP gain was something it thought could be confusing for new players because each level required about the same amount of XP to progress through, rather requiring more for subsequent levels. He says this has led to pacing issues such as skill points currently being rewarded too fast, which may be confusing and overwhelming to newer players. We want each decision to invest in a skill or heroic to be more meaningful. So to help reduce the amount of progress players can make quickly, the XP needed to advance in levels later in the game is being increased starting at level 25. To conclude the post, the developer recommends that anyone who has a character that isn't already level 50 level them quickly before the change takes effect. Okay, if you know your idea is bad, how about you don't integrate it into the game?
Unless you really want to take the risk and integrate it anyway.
Of course, this means players starting fresh on PS5 or Xbox Series X will be forced into the new, slower leveling system.
Oh, man.
One thing that's not entirely clear is why this change was necessary at all. It's not. Not starting the XP increase until level 25 means that new players might still get confused on skills. More importantly, the slog of leveling a character all the way to level 50 was already one of the slowest, grindiest parts of Marvel's Avengers. Making that process even more tedious, especially for new players, is confusing to say the least. the 18th update, I guess 18th, 2021. Just yeah, because this article was written March 5th. So March 18th update will also include the release of Hawkeye, as well as a new change to cosmetics that make them slightly less random and give more players more control over which ones they unlock. Okay, so um, that's what's going on uh, with Marvel's The Avengers.
Right.
When you're adding a change that you already have to defend before it even comes out, then why add the change?
Maybe they're trying to make it more appealing to people who think that, oh, if we make people play more, they'll buy more transactions or microtransactions, and that will expand on their profit in as lost to what they then get in sales for the original Avengers game.
Yeah, because they lost like over $60 million on it.
And that's a lot of money right there, $60 million. I can't blame them, but they have to understand too that we are gamers, especially older gamers. Like we grew up in the 1990s, where it's all about the gameplay and about the story. So once in a while, story as time like the late 90s to the early 2000s, it was really about story-driven games, it's like the on PlayStation. But before then, it was all about the gameplay. So it's like they didn't work on asking previous older developers who were in the game for decades, like Ralph Bow, was it Bow or Bear, who was the grandfather of the gaming industry. Like he actually dedicated his life towards entertaining young kids to what he created called the Odyssey. If they rely on his method or his passion, they might get somewhere with the Avengers game.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, they're saying players are going to get confused. I think they're just calling us stupid to try to defend their move, which they know is a bad move.
Oh yeah.
They know it's bad. We know it's bad, but they're trying to say, "Oh, we're doing it for you because you don't understand. Just trust us."
Oh yeah. How many times we trusted them? We trusted with Anthem. We trusted them with Cyberpunk 2077. We trusted them with Fallout 76. You guys think we're going to trust them with Marvel Avengers? Oh sure, the other Marvel games worked pretty well because we played them together in one of your gameplays on Daily Motion back 5 years ago. Remember Triple J? Yeah, so that was a good experience.
Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, those are good games to play with others. Yeah. But now they messed it up. Whoever the newcomers are of the developers or the cash corporate guys, you want to call them.
Yeah, but the thing is, don't say you're doing something for me, and then when you're really doing it something for you. If you're just really greedy and trying desperately to make back the money you lost, then just say we're trying to make more money. Why can't you say that?
It seems too blunt and too selfish. That's why.
But they're doing something like that article said. They're taking the slowest part of the game and they're making it even more slow.
I know, but they'll never say it. They'll never say it directly to the customer, whether through a commercial or through an article or some newsworthy source say that, oh, we're doing it for the money. It's fuck you and go fuck F yourself and stuff like that,
Remember that when we talked about Take-Two later. Yeah, so I just can't imagine, people, and like I heard, I think we've talked about this before, like the player base for Marvel's The Avengers was just like tumbling anyway. So it's kind of like, if the people who were hanging on, you're giving them even another reason to drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, next story. Call of Duty's Black Ops Cold War graphics are below Modern Warfare's 2019 standards.
Tell me about it.
I'll let you start off with this because I know you have a lot to say about this topic.
Yeah, so basically, I didn't get a chance to start the creating my video yet. Obviously, I've been busy with school and all and other things. But overall, we're playing the multiplayer portion of Cold War. I have to say it's okay graphics, but it's not as feel like it's real too much. It doesn't feel like it's at all. It's not real enough. It feels like it's cartoony a bit because if you play certain certain aspects of between Modern Warfare 2019 and Black Ops Cold War, you can see that it's like it's day and night pretty much. Because the Modern Warfare, when you run, you can do a double run, like a sprint. But in Black Ops Cold War, you don't get that. So and so on and so forth. And oh sure, you get to shoot while you reload while aiming down and such. But other than that, it doesn't feel like a real decent Call of Duty game you get from Modern Warfare 2019 or Black Ops 1 or even Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1. The one I heard that was a good game to play every now and then, especially Modern Warfare 2 with the no Russian mission. So that's my perspective for the time being.
So are the graphics really that noticeable where the remake of Modern Warfare is better than Cold War?
Yes, and if you're a Call of Duty fan for at least two Call of Duties, like if you start with playing Black Ops 1 and play it further into the series of each Call of Duty game after that, you'll see a difference by the time you reach Black Ops Cold War. So if you play Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare 2019, Infinite Warfare, even Infinite Warfare felt more realistic than Black Ops Cold War. So,
wow.
In my perspective, that is.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just your perspective. Otherwise, because it seems to be the popular opinion.
Well, the Infinite Warfare part is not as popular among the regular Call of Duty fans. I'm considered the newbie still after 5 years of playing it of Call of Duty. Because because I see both perspectives of any game. Like if you want to play for campaign and story driven stuff, play Black Ops Cold War. If you want to play a very decent realistic type of feeling of a multiplayer, play Modern Warfare 2019. If you want to play for nostalgia, play Modern Warfare, the first one. So.
Okay, because I played Call of Duty Black Ops. I actually beat the campaign in one whole night. The whole campaign.
It took like 10 hours to complete it.
In like a 6-hour stream. Shortly after moving here.
6 hours. Okay.
I've done a couple of videos of playing Modern Warfare 3. I did play like the beginning level of Call of Duty Ghost, but that's about as far as my Call of Duty experience goes.
Yeah, after Ghost started coming out, and beyond that, things were going downhill with the quality of the Call of Duty games I heard. And they're right.
And I beat Modern Warfare 2 back like in 08.
Okay.
But so really Ghost was like the downfall in your opinion?
What's that question? I'm sorry.
After Call of Duty Ghost, do you feel that was when the downfall started?
It seemed obvious too because I played Ghost and it's like, when I play Ghost online multiplayer, it's all right. The bazooka I like the feature where you can change characters and all, but that's like useless to some extent. Because it's the same people, or there's no actual different abilities per se, in my perspective. So that's when it's like, okay, what's the point of playing Ghosts after a while? Play for a couple of days, and that's about it.
Okay. All right. So there's that. I got an opinion question for you.
Okay.
What original Nintendo games do you still like to play today?
Well, oh man, the original Nintendo?
Yeah.
I only played the game I still have, Super Mario Brothers, for Nintendo. I still have a Nintendo system.
You talking about the first one for 8-bit Nintendo?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could throw Super Mario All Stars in there. I'm assuming you still have that for Super Nintendo.
Yes, I do.
But it was for NES games put on an SNES cartridge. Um, but really, I mean, you just don't enjoy Nintendo now, or
I just don't see myself. I grew out of it, and it's meant for kids under like 16, 15 years old, pretty much. Like it has to be like early teens, to childhood, type of gameplay. Oh, sure, it's good to play with family. Like if you have a son, if you're about to have a son growing up by 6, 7 years old, you're like, hey son, you want to play some Super Mario Bros. When I was your age? And it's like, nostalgia as well as spending time with a new, breed in the family. You know what I'm saying? That'll be great. But that's about it. Other than that, I'm not playing it for myself.
okay. I gotta disagree with you on that because I still have a couple. Like I said, I still have a few NES games that I enjoy. Jeopardy Junior Edition, I enjoy much more now than I did when I was a kid because it's actually I showed Jeopardy Junior Edition to my cousin, and I'm just like, "You want to try this out?" So we got the game working on my Nintendo. He ended up playing like 3 or 4 different games of Jeopardy.
Nice.
He was playing it, and like after the first game, he's like, "I like this." And I'm like, "You want to increase the difficulty? Just pick this." And he ended up playing like 4 games. And then when he left my room to go to bed, he's like, that Jeopardy game, I was really enjoying myself. And Jeopardy Junior Edition, I played that with my younger brother before we moved apart. We both enjoyed it. Also had an embarrassing moment about Jeopardy Junior Edition, which I'll maybe get into in a couple minutes.
Right.
Kung Fu is one game I still love. Even though I can't get past like level 4, I think it is. I don't think I've ever made it to like level 5, but like I still enjoy trying to get as far as I can in Kung Fu. Marble Madness, which is like a great Kung Fu and Marble Madness are like great games if you got like 10, 15 minutes to kill.
Might as well put that on mobile. Might as well put that on mobile, the Marvel game.
Well, I don't know because most people don't like using the D-pad to control the marble because the Marble Madness arcade had an actual like circular sphere that you could spin to control your marble on screen.
Okay.
And so like when they changed that to the D-pad for the Nintendo, people were like, "Oh man, this is so much worse than the arcade," which is the truth for most NES games that were trying to compete with their arcade counterparts. But yeah, so like those games I still like. As far as I also have Super Mario All Stars for the Wii. But as far as other NES games that I would probably play, I don't know. I think it's those 3: Jeopardy, Kung Fu, and Marble Madness.
Interesting.
The embarrassing moment I had, what it did was like when you rang in when it displayed like the answer, it would give you a 7-second countdown to buzz in, and if nobody buzzed in, then it would give you the answer when time was up. And the question was something like someone who like created the sport of basketball, like this guy created basketball or something to do with like basketball. Now I had no idea who the answer was. At 1 second left, I had an answer in mind, but instead, at 1 second left, I spit out Michael Jackson.
I mean, there's a moonwalk. That's about it. But okay.
I didn't even notice because Michael Jordan was in my head so much that I thought that's literally what I said. My younger brother and my mother had to point it out. Said, "You just said Michael Jackson," and I was just like. And of course, Michael Jordan was wrong, but it's kind of like I knew I was going to be wrong anyway. But I had a more educated answer in mind, but I said something else instead. because I was trying to time it up for like the last second on the buzzing clock. So yeah, so I got that cracked my mom and my younger brother up when I shouted out Michael Jackson instead of Michael Jordan.
Right.
But yeah, so those are the NES. Go on. So those are the NES. So yeah, those are the NES games I like to play. I guess that's the reason I kept them around.
Okay.
Why I still have them.
And for nostalgic reasons too.
Nostalgic reasons, and then also, like I said, pick up and play. Jeopardy can last you a little longer.
I still got my Jeopardy game for the Game Boy system.
What for Game Boy?
Jeopardy for Game Boy. I still have that game.
Oh, really?
Yep. I mean, it's very repetitive after a while, which is why I gave up on, playing it, because it's very repetitive. After the questions, I memorized them. Some of them, that is. And I just, afterwards got bored of it. I was like, okay, there's no different variations as there used to be, so.
With it being on Game Boy, does it still have 2 rounds and then Final Jeopardy, or no?
Something like that, yeah. It has something similar to what Alex Trebek had during his time, so.
Okay, because I grew up with Wheel of Fortune for Game Boy, nice. And I never realized how short the game was. They'd have the first puzzle on Game Boy for Wheel of Fortune. Then after that first puzzle, you'd be up to the final puzzle, where you can pick one letter, and then you had to either solve the puzzle or forfeit your turn. And then if you won that, if you had enough money after those 2 rounds, then you got to go to the bonus round. And I'm just like, I had that game with me when I moved down here, and I'm like, I just completed the whole game of Wheel of Fortune in 20 minutes.
Well, it is a 30-minute show, so on TV, so.
But the thing is, like, if you watch Wheel of Fortune, at least if you watch it, I don't know if it's changed that way recently, they would have like 3, 4, or 5 puzzles, however many they could fit in before the final puzzle.
Probably because the fact that it depends on the speed and pace of the contestants. Like if they think very quickly, it will last a lot shorter. But if they're thinking long in the long term, like, I gotta think this over with, then obviously it might last up to the 30-minute mark of the TV segment. Because every Wheel of Fortune show since the 1970s and 80s was 30 minutes per episode or per show.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, if you watch Wheel of Fortune from any year, they have like 3 or 4 puzzles, then they have the final puzzle, then they have the bonus round.
Okay.
If you had 1 puzzle and then the final puzzle, it just feels so short.
Maybe they dumbed it down.
Yeah. So like
that's a bit different with games.
Like, also, Wheel of Fortune on Game Boy only allowed you to play with up to 2 players. It was 1 player, 2 player, or 1 player against 1 computer player.
Obviously, that's why.
But the Wheel of Fortune always had 3 contestants, not 2.
Yeah, that's why. Now I see why it's so short, because it's only just 2 of the 3, not 3 altogether, groups or 3 people going against each other.
Yes. Yeah, so I guess maybe if that's why I've never really liked Wheel of Fortune on Game Boy, although that's a game I grew up with on Game Boy.
Yes.
Okay, so next one. I already brought this up. Take-Two supporting the increase on games. Take-Two Interactive CEO defends next-gen price hike. This is from September of last year. Because the next generation of game consoles is on the way, but the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS might not just be bringing better graphics and more advanced technology. The new consoles could usher in a higher price for games themselves, with the $60 norm that's been a standard since 2005 potentially going away. Strauss Zelnick says that's not necessarily a problem, who defended the idea of a next generation price increase. He goes, the bottom line is that we haven't seen a frontline price increase for nearly 15 years, and production costs have gone up 200 to 300%. But more to the point, since no one really cares what your production costs are, what consumers are able to do with the product is completely changed. We deliver a much, much bigger game for $60 or $70 than we delivered for $60 10 years ago. The opportunity to spend money online is completely optional, and it's not a free-to-play title. It's a complete, incredibly robust experience, even if you never spend another penny after your initial purchase. I beg you to look at The Sims. Take-Two was one of the first companies to reveal that it would be charging more for its next-generation titles, with the company announcing back in July of 2020 that NBA 2K21 on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS consoles will cost $70 compared to $60 on Xbox One and PS4. The news was met with considerable backlash from a community of customers who have grown accustomed to the $60 price point over the past decade and a half. That's been the industry norm. Zelnick later commented that Take-Two will be announcing pricing on a title-by-title basis, but he reiterated the same point: games cost far more today than they did when the $60 price point was introduced. Take-Two has always started to show what some of that title-by-title consideration may look like, with the company planning to offer a free standalone version of its popular and lucrative Grand Theft Auto Online game mode for PlayStation 5 customers in 2021. Other companies like Ubisoft have elected to punt on the issue, promising free upgrades and no price increase for cross-gen games released this fall, without committing to avoiding further increases down the line as it produces exclusively next-gen titles. Zelnick isn't wrong, as Polygon notes. The cost of games has remained almost bizarrely unchanged, even as nearly every other facet of the economy has seen prices creep up over time. Adjusting for inflation, a $60 game in 2005 would cost over $80 in 2020, which means that even a $70 price jump is comparatively cheaper. And faced with the prospect of next-generation games, which promise to be even bigger and most expensive to produce than today's current AAA titles, it's hard to imagine a world where the price of games doesn't increase in order to make development sustainable. And that's the end of the article. There's one big problem with that. There's one big problem with that viewpoint, which is that would be fine and everything if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic.
It's all about the money, my friend. That's all they care about. They don't care what if it's World War III, they will still increase the price to like $100 a game, and be like, yeah, we want you to spend $100 while nuclear warfare is going outside of your house. So, yeah, that's how fucked up the industry can be at times after a certain amount of years.
On one point,
yes.
But the thing is, on one point, I have to say he's correct. You know, games are more expensive to produce, and they have to, and as those costs go up, they're gonna have to be worth more. But at the same time, we're like in the most worst financial time since the Great Depression.
Something like that, yeah.
You don't raise your prices at a time like this. Wait till everyone gets back to work. Wait till everything gets normal. Then you can increase the prices if you want.
Nope, it's not how it works. It's all about I want this now, and I'm not gonna wait for it, not even for another year or two. That's the gaming company's perspective, especially if it's all about money. I will agree with you, yeah, but the majority of today's companies, in the newer generation of new blood in these companies, they don't care about the passion of a game and its gamers. They care about just making money only, and that's it. That's all they care about.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, when people blew through their savings just to survive to this point, and I know, I have problems with credit card companies that weren't able to pay back. That is an unrelated issue from the pandemic.
Right.
But I know many more people are going to be facing that same issue because of the pandemic.
I am in that situation too, James. So you're not the only one. I don't buy $60, $70 games on just out of willy nilly out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the last $60 game I bought was Red Dead Redemption in 2018.
Oh, 4
Red Dead
years ago.
Redemption 2,
Shit, dude.
actually.
That's like 3 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, that's the last time I bought a game full price.
Unless you use
And
credit.
Huh?
Did you use credit?
No, I had the money at the time.
Well, I had
still
credit
some money
to
left
use.
over. I had some money left over from when my grandfather passed away.
Yes.
So, like throwing $60 down at that time was nothing to me, and I knew I wanted Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm so glad I purchased the game. I'm just saying,
Right.
if Red Dead Redemption 3 comes out and it has a $70, $75, $80 price tag, I might actually wait until it comes down a little bit before I buy it.
Okay.
But
Especially
also,
during Black
like,
Friday sales.
Huh?
Especially during Black Friday sales. That's where Xbox Game Store will literally sell this for like, not pennies on the dollar, but a few dollars on the dollar. Like, instead of it being $60 for, let's say, Dragon Age Inquisition, they'll probably sell it for like $20 to $15 as digital copy on their store.
Well, it also depends on the success or failure of the game. I bought WWE 2K20 last April. I got it for like $19.99 plus tax.
Oh, when did you get it?
Digitally. Huh?
When did you get it?
Xbox Marketplace.
No, when?
Oh, last April.
And it came out, a year afterwards or 6 months afterwards?
It came out October of 2019.
Oh, wow. And that's very quick.
And
to
April
go down
2020,
price.
it was honestly, it was a free-to-play game for a weekend, and my cousin liked it. After giving it a shot and seeing that most of the glitches were fixed, I kind of wanted it, and I thought, well, $20 digitally, it's not bad.
Probably it's the microtransactions. Like I heard in that game, if you want to get a new color, you gotta keep playing the game more in order to get more experience points for it.
I don't know about that. But
It was
the
something
thing
like
is,
that.
I don't know about that. But like the problem with the game is like it would crash a lot. It still does sometimes. It's still. But the thing is, it's. What's the word I'm looking for? It would crash a lot. There were a lot of graphical glitches, or like there was a lot of slowdown.
Technical mishaps, pretty much.
But most of those, and it was basically a dumpster fire on day one.
Okay.
But by the time April 2020 rolled around, it was at least playable. Like, I played it a bunch of times. I really haven't had that many problems with it. Sure, a time here or there, I get booted back to the Xbox dashboard. And on Universe mode, if you get booted back, or if you stop playing in the middle of the event,
okay,
and you change the matches, the game will change the matches back to the matches they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most annoying part. But like other than that, it's like I said, it's playable. But at the same, and for $20, when the game worked on the surface, I was like, all right. But there was no way I was paying $60 for it in its first state. But yeah, so like WWE 2K20, I bought for like $20. Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm, I got for like less than $10.
I actually got Life is Strange for free when the games were gold. So all I used to buy Life was Strange Before the Storm and Life was Strange 2. That's about it. So.
Wow. So. Have you played either Life is Strange?
I played the first one for about the first 30 minutes to an hour at the most because I I mean, it was all right. I wasn't. I was still not used to the rewind feature because I like to see
Yeah,
things happening as time goes along. Because if I keep rewind over and over, then what's the purpose of, submitting to my consequences of my decisions? You know.
because you could only rewind for like 5 minutes beforehand. So like if you go with your consequences,
All
you know.
right. Oh, okay. I'll play
But
more
the
of
thing
it. I'll
is,
do a
but
gameplay
the,
of it online sometime this month or next month.
but the thing is, you said you also have Before the Storm.
I think I had it for as like the first episode for free because it was
Oh,
either
okay.
it was either a Games with Gold of offer and or it was a Game Pass, one of those Game Pass mentions. That's about it.
You should play Life is Strange Before the Storm because like a lot of what happens in Before the Storm is covered in Life is Strange.
Really.
Yeah, Before the Storm takes place like a year before uh, the first Life is Strange game.
I'll see if I can play the Before the Storm and record it on my
Okay.
online career. So
And then go back and play it through Life is Strange.
yeah, come back to me next year or two because I have over like 300 games I collected from digital and physical. So
Yeah, that's more than me. I only got like 100 that I collected.
right. Do you have Xbox Gold, Triple J?
I have gold. I have gold. I don't have Game Pass,
All right. Well,
but I also
if you keep track of every month or every 2 weeks, you get a free game in the
yeah, you
games
get
with
2 free games actually.
at least one, two or three games a month.
Yeah, I check the beginning of every month and the middle of every month. So I've been getting these games. There's just no way I could have them all installed on my hard drive at once.
Yeah. Speaking of free games with gold, they were giving out games with gold of Halo 3 and Halo Reach back in like 2015, 2016. So if you were around still back then,
I,
you
I
would.
didn't have my Xbox. I didn't get my Xbox One till like 2015, the end, like maybe Christmas 2015.
Okay, so you missed most of the good sales.
Yeah. But, so like anyway, Life is Strange Before the Storm. That for a bundle costed less than $10, and since Microsoft was nice enough to give me a $10 credit for God knows what, I
Mm-hmm.
actually got both games for free.
Okay.
Um, and then the last game I purchased was The Walking Dead Season 3, which I've still never started yet.
Hmm.
But anyway, so back to what this guy Zelnick, the CEO of Take Two, he's. I think this is a problem with him being in his company that, you think your company's doing so great, so you think it's business like normal.
Yeah.
But you don't. But you're not suffering like other people are, so you don't know what difficulties they're going through because of this financial trap that what is trapped in.
Mm.
And I just think like Microsoft got roasted for it when they tried to raise the price of games when they tried to double the price of games with gold, at least the yearly subscription.
Right. Right.
And Microsoft decided to go back on that price hike and said, okay, everything's staying the same price. And I just think, people like of AAA companies, they gotta realize, come down to normal people's level because, you probably didn't lose your job. You probably didn't get laid off. How are these people supposed to be able to afford, you raising the price of games?
That's what I don't understand
I
about
just,
today's gaming companies. They're not thinking straight. They're not thinking about the people of the gaming community.
yeah.
They're thinking about the
I mean,
larger. They think about the larger audience. They're thinking that if we include all 300 million Americans, at least 20 million of them will come pay for our own stuff, no matter what the situation in their life is. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're thinking
right.
of.
And when someone's got $100 to pay their light bill or to spend $80 on a video game that they really want, they're gonna pay their light bill first.
Especially if they're adults. Like if they're kids, someone like steal the card from their parents, and that's very selfish of the kid to do that. Because if my kid ever did that, stealing 20,000, I heard from one kid of Fortnite V-Bucks.
The FIFA packs.
Okay, FIFA doesn't matter. He'll be erased from the earth. No one will never hear from him again. And I won't do the beat, and my wife will do it. She'll be like, "Here we go, next dimension!" Ha! Like Vegeta from Dragon Ball, shit like that. You know.
What would your mother have done if you had done something like that?
Say that again.
What would your mother or aunt have done if you did something like that when you were like a teenager?
I will not be talking to you to this day. Let's just leave it at that. You be seeing on a missing milk carton back in the 90s. They stopped doing that feature. I missed that. Have you seen this person on the milk carton? I'm like, yeah, it's been a few years. Where's my friend James?
Yeah.
And then your mother be like, "I'm sorry, what the Lord Jesus Christ."
I remember when we talked about this with Darkness the Curse. He felt the same way we did.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so I mean, again, but normal customers aside, because you and me probably play Xbox just like a lot of people do, that are either teenagers or young adults. That just keep in mind, and the young adults are the one that has the money.
Especially as the 30 young adults.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think they're like detached from reality, and if this is going to be the new normal, I'm just not going to be getting Take-Two games on release day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing against the company. It's just, if I can't afford it, I can't afford it. Anyway, next one. On eBay, there were counterfeit cartridges of Nintendo World Championships being sold. Nintendo World Championship, it's a rare cartridge. They go for thousands of dollars, and someone was trying to sell fake ones on eBay. Have you? What's your thought on this, if anything?
Now the NWC, is it NWC cartridges or NWC carts? What do you mean by that?
Cartridges. There's one that was created in gray, and there was one that was in that has a gold cartridge, like The Legend of Zelda.
Like that for the N64 or Majora's Mask and all that stuff.
For the 8-bit Nintendo.
Okay, or Street Fighter 2 remastered, not remastered, but republished, because back in
reproduction, yeah.
Because back in 2016, yeah.
The thing is, these carts are fake, because the circuit board could be to a different game, or these cartridges that don't work, but they look like an authentic NWC, just appearance-wise.
And what does NWC stand for, if you know?
NWC stands for Nintendo World Championship. And the gray cart if you find an authentic gray cart, it's been known to sell for $10,000.
Is that rare, huh?
If you find an authentic gold cartridge, it's been known to sell for up to $25,000.
God damn! If I only have one of those.
and the thing is, there's less than 100. There's maybe less than 100 gray cartridges that exist, and there's 25. And there's 25 gold cartridges that exist, which is why they're so worth so much if you have a real one.
Oh yes, I will agree with you right there, because if you see one sell for about $250, there's definitely not a legitimate copy.
Right, or at least have them open the cartridge to show you the circuit board.
And this is from China, right?
Cartridge.
This is from China, right?
because those cartridges mean nothing. You could like put if you wanted to, if you want, I think it was with the 5-screw games, like you could unscrew the cartridge, take out the game, put in the circuit board for a different game. All of a sudden, let's see, your cartridge of, I'm trying to think of a cheap game. Your cartridge of Contra would really play Top Gun when you put it in your Nintendo.
Yeah. But
So
if
it
you
would
played
look like
it,
a Contra cartridge, but when it worked, if it worked at all, you'd be Top Gun would boot up.
okay. So
And then
were
they
these
Nintendo
counterfeits?
got rid of the 5 screws and
Yeah.
they put in the 3-screw cartridges, and apparently that was how they stopped people switching in and out games.
Okay.
But,
If I may ask Triple J, are these fake ones made in China or something?
I don't know about that. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because it might say like this should be like one of those etched copies where it says at the corner of the cartridge it'll say made in China, made in Taiwan, or if you want a legitimate cartridge from Nintendo person themselves, it will show the 1-800 number not etched onto the background per se, but it'll be like a little tiny sticker to show you the number to call them for repair.
Or you can open the cartridge and the circuit board will say Nintendo if it's authentic.
That too. That's what I never knew about that part.
Which is why people say if you got like a really expensive game, look at the circuit board in the game.
Yes.
And if it's a Nintendo cartridge and it has the Nintendo insignia on the cartridge on the circuit board, then you know it's authentic.
Well, today's world of gaming, the gaming aspect of our lives, you get away with any disauthentic or fake copies or counterfeit copies of certain games and systems. So, and there's no actual there's no penal system behind that to go to jail for or to even be fined for from these companies unless the company file lawsuits against you at best. That's the only thing they'll do to you. Because Soldier Boy, stupid him, no offense to Soldier Boy, he 2 times already he did this. He sold a rip-off 101 game console, a handheld console, whatever you want to call it, to people like you and I on the internet, like eBay, whatever his store was. And he did it 2 times so far this year, and as well as like from like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, some shit like that.
And he's trying to do it again.
For the second time, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like they already sent you a cease and desist letter the first time. Now you think they're just going to forget about it and let you do it this time?
I mean, I understand the feeling when Elric brothers said to each other that, oh, let's go to that same place because they never know we'll go there again. That type of feeling in the Fullmetal Alchemist anime. But for Christ's sake, when it comes to fucking games, this doesn't work like that. So, if you ever watched the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood series, that is, so.
But the thing is, people are selling like these cartridges with Raspberry, or like I said, you could buy a Raspberry Pi. People are selling Raspberry Pi with games on them, but they're being upfront with what they're selling.
Yes.
Soldier Boy, who probably can't order anything except the number 4 at McDonald's anymore. He's trying. I mean, not only was he selling games that he didn't have the right to, some people weren't even getting their shipments after paying.
Yeah, that's the fucked up part.
USA paid for a console, and he had to go through PayPal to get his money back.
It's ridiculous at what Soldier Boy was doing. I mean, I like his "Kiss Me Through the Phone" song. I like his "Crank That" dance. But after that, don't be a business person, Soldier Boy. It's not worth it because you have to be very sly. You have to be very not deceptive, but very convincing. Because you can't just sell something and rip off and think that it's going to work like that. It doesn't work like that in today's world, Soldier Boy. We don't live in the '90s anymore.
Right.
He's our age. Soldier Boy's our age, so.
There was a couple in Arizona who was basically allowing people to download ROMs of NES games and Nintendo went after them. But Nintendo went after them because they had pictures of like Mario and Mega Man on their website.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, other people that let you download ROMs, they just have like a bland color border, and Nintendo doesn't go after them because they were displaying their intellectual property. But like one couple in Arizona that was using the intellectual properties on their website, not only did they get shut down, they had to pay Nintendo like a lot of money. And I heard and I have no idea how they fared, but I heard that they, possibly life running because.
Excuse me.
So I mean, I wonder if Nintendo would go after Soldier Boy if they'd win.
Oh, it's like a double whammy right there for Nintendo. All they have to do is just say, "This, Your Honor, is the same person that screwed with us back 3 years ago." Look back on the last case and go, "Yep, case closed. Nintendo won. Okay, Soldier Boy paid him $5 million."
Yeah.
That's all they have to do.
And the thing is, don't buy Soldier Boy's console. If you want to buy the Raspberry Pi, you can do that. The worst thing you have to do is download ROMs yourself. But some Raspberry Pis include the SD card that you store the games on.
Yes.
So if you really, so I mean, but don't fall for Soldier Boy's scam when he tries to sell you something again. And the fact that he's trying to do it again during a pandemic, shame on you, is all I can say about Soldier Boy. Okay, next one. Let's talk about games. Actually, I just want to see if there's. I doubt there's a trailer up. Wait a minute. Okay, so there is a trailer. All right,
what?
I'm gonna show it to everyone through Twitch, and then show it to you through Discord, and then we can talk about the trailer afterwards.
Now, what's it about? If you could give a preview.
It's a Ninja Turtles game.
Oh, okay. So it's a new game coming out this year or next year?
Yeah, this year I think.
All right. Shredder's Revenge. Okay.
Yep.
Hey! They still kept the theme. Those two guys, remember? Shredder. Hey, Abel can fight? Holy shit. And he's surfing now, okay. Alright. Oh, is this 2D side scroller? Holy shit! It reminds me of time back in time.
Yep.
Holy shit! Oh. Where's it coming out again?
I do not know.
I have to look it up online myself if you want.
Yeah,
that looks good.
So what do you think of this Ninja Turtles game?
Man, I'm surprised it's still making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles after all these decades now. It's been 30 years since the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Maybe the 31st year, actually. So, it's pretty cool. It's very nostalgic at the same time, very new and refresh.
And it looks like that it's going to have 4-player co-op, which like the PS2 games had.
Yes.
PS2 games were like a disappointment.
Yeah, I heard that when the PS2 time of the teenage games were not that good.
And the same goes for the Xbox 360 games. But this one looks like it's going to be awesome. This is a Ninja Turtles game that I would play again.
Yeah, we could do a co-op online if they allow it.
Yeah, they probably do.
There is online co-op, dude. We can play it together. Awesome, Triple J.
Awesome. Did you see? Did you find a release date for it yet?
No, it's on SteamPower.com, and it shows here it's coming soon.
Oh, just coming soon, so they don't even have a
definite date. Hopefully it comes out by early next year. That's what I want to play the most. Because by that time I should be finished with my schooling. Because here's the situation. My school told me that if I don't have extra money by after the third year, I may have to drop out altogether. So, cross your fingers. If I stay in there, I can wait until 2023 to play this game fully. Because I have other games I backed up on to play with others. Right. So that's my perspective.
I just hope that they're making it for last gen and next gen.
For Xbox and PS4.
Yeah, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series.
I doubt it.
They are, because we are in that transition period where they make games for both consoles.
Yeah.
So it's not totally out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, if it's just next gen exclusive, that's one game I'll definitely want a Xbox Series X or PS5 to play. But I won't be able to afford it just for that one game.
Well, the game should cost no more than $35 because it's a side-scrolling game.
It could even be full price because with DLC being a lot more common, they could extend the game through DLC.
Right.
But I'm just saying, with games, it's not like they've stopped making games for Xbox. Well, actually. Let me go to GameFAQs, make sure that's true. Let's see, Xbox One. Release dates. Okay, so we still have releases coming out for Xbox One. I found releases up to the end of March. Let's see. All North America releases. Okay, they got releases planned on Xbox One till October. Well, not planned, but they got Xbox One releases planned, scheduled all the way till October on GameFAQs. That's not to say they'll stop in October, but if this game is coming out like in the next year or two, well, at least in the next year, there's a great chance it could be on Xbox One.
If it's next year, that's like the last year pretty much to give the have cross compatibility, cross gen, yeah. So, because think about it, if it wasn't with Black Ops 3 for Xbox One and Xbox 360, PS4 and PS3, something like that.
Right. Well, like I said, there's nothing on Xbox One there's nothing on Xbox Series X that I would want one now anyway right now.
Yes.
But the thing is, if this Ninja Turtles game was exclusive, that would be game number one,
Mm-hmm.
On the 9 reasons I'm waiting to get an Xbox Series X. I got one reason. But, if it's coming out, but the thing is, I think since we're seeing trailers and stuff, I think it'll come out sometime this year, and we should be able to play it.
Oh yeah, I should get it by next year, the earliest. So, because I'm still backlogged, not backlogged per se, but I have other projects I'm doing, like finish recording Final Fantasy VII, doing the review of Black Ops Cold War, that type of stuff. So which is sometime this month I should be doing that within this month. So
yes, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. I mean, I think on Daily Motion I had the video when you and me tried to complete Turtles in Time together, and we failed. But
I actually got the game. I got emulated on my computer.
I beat Turtles in Time by myself.
Okay.
But I remember when you and me tried to do it together, we failed.
Yes, I'm very risk taker. I'm a big risk taker in games. So, well, although in opposite, I would be very protective as well as less risky in Apex Legends. So if we team up with someone else, you being someone else, I'll be more of the support guy. I will not be attacking all the time.
You like to be you'd rather be the sniper instead of the on-field.
No, supporter or sniper, yeah. But I'm not the best sniper. But I'll distract the other teams or team.
You'll be the decoy.
Yes, or the bait, or the support. I try to utilize my discrepancies for something different. So.
Yeah, for most games, I want in all guns blazing. But yeah. I mean, again, Shredder's Revenge. I mean, if you get to play as April, she looks like she can defend herself.
Yeah, fighting like what she never fought before in the original TV series. That's weird.
I remember, and I was a big fan of the cartoons back in the '90s.
And they made April look like an actual good looker too. Like where's this feeling I'm feeling about April? Like, oh my god, she can fend for herself, but not fighting. But
in Xbox, and I remember an Xbox 360 game, April was like a 10-year-old girl, and I'm like, what the hell is this that I'm playing?
When was this? 10-year-old girl.
It was the Xbox 360 game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let me look up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games on Xbox 360.
A 10-year-old girl. She's a reporter, not no pedophile victim.
It was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's see, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Danger of the Ooze game. It was the Nickelodeon one.
Oh, that's why it's Nickelodeon that sponsored or supported that game. That's why April's 10 years old.
This one, and we have April as we remember her.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find a picture of what she looked like in that game. So you could see what I was talking about.
Because Shredder's Revenge, the newest one coming out, it's like a nostalgia for us older gamers. So they know they're appealing towards us now.
Yeah, but I mean, they got everyone we remember: Bebop, Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman, and Shredder. They got the Technodrome, so they probably have Krang in there. This is it. Just let the picture load, and then I can. Okay, so yeah. Okay, go to Discord. Screen. There we go. And then...
Oh, okay. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's Leonardo talking to April.
That's not no Leonardo. That's like some stick figure. that's like me drawing in 20 years. Because I only draw stick figures, so if I practice my art skills, I might be like that with this Leonardo guy, or whatever the fuck you call him, this stick figure wannabe. I don't know.
How about April O'Neil being a teenage girl?
Okay, that's very creepy, but all right. because we grew up on April. We understand when we see an actual woman that helped us understand about April at the same time. So it's kind of like, when seeing that, it's like, are you trying to get us to go to jail now?
Not even that. It's just like when she came up and she was April, I'm like, what the hell am I playing? This isn't the Ninja Turtles that I remember. Then again, the game was only $10 brand new. That should have been a
$10 brand new.
Yeah.
You know that appeals to us kids if it's $10.
and and this was from GameStop, believe it or not.
GameStop
When I used to
exclusive?
shop at GameStop.
Is it GameStop exclusive?
It might be.
They only sold at GameStop stores. That'd be cool. It's like with Halo Reach. Halo Reach has a special armor you get at GameStop for about. It's like a pre-order bonus, pretty much. You can pre-order for $5, you can get the armor.
Yeah, but so anyway, that was, I remember I got that game for $10, and I was when I saw that was April, that teenage girl, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this game. And I never went back to it. I ended up selling it.
Yeah, we have some creepy guys in the Nickelodeon studios.
But I mean, like, we grew up with April. Like, I forget who played her. I don't know who played her in the movies. But we grew up with the movie. I had the first movie.
Same here. I got VHS as well.
Yeah, we grew up with that actress playing April O'Neil. She looked great then. She looked great in the cartoons. Although in the cartoon, I really didn't care because I wasn't interested in girls yet. But you know, when that came on my TV and that was April, I was like, I ended up never going back to that game.
It probably sold for $1. Like, take it. Just take the damn thing. Give me $1. That's all I care about.
But Shredder's Revenge, I can't wait for that game to come out.
I feel excited now all of a sudden. Like, god damn, I felt this way in a while. Because I just bought 2 games.
When's the last time we were excited about a game like this?
Since like Devil May Cry 5, that's like 2 years ago. If I mentioned it to you.
Take-Two game, Red Dead Redemption 2, I was excited for. Yeah, that's like the last time we were excited about games, but now we're excited for this one.
And it seems like it's like a PC exclusive via the Steam library. That is so.
Right. So we don't. So it's not like console players are going to be left out in the dark.
I'm not sure yet.
I don't think so. I think that trailer. I don't have the trailer pulled up anymore. Do I? I still have it on YouTube. They have
check your history
on Steam. Let's see, show more.
You can check your history to see when was last time you watched that video.
Okay, I see the views. There's nothing about it. Let's see, story. Credits. There's nothing about it not being on consoles, but there's nothing about it not being on because they have a wish. It's available for your wish list on Steam, so it's not even available there yet.
It says coming soon, so. And it's control support.
Will TMNT Shredder's Revenge come out on consoles? Okay, I googled it. It says currently there's no release date for Shredder's Revenge yet. It will be coming soon to PC and additional consoles.
Okay.
So it looks like we will be able to play it when it comes out.
Yeah, let's play it on the Stadia. See how it is. That's the only time I buy it for the Stadia. That's about it.
Mine. Look who's coming to some money. Look who's coming to a lot of money recently.
Nah, I was just fooling with you. I'm not gonna spend $10 a month or $20 a month or whatever it's called on Stadia.
Okay, I got another question for you. It's gonna lead into another video that we're gonna see. Did you ever lie about a game to get it because your parents wouldn't get it for you if they knew what the game was really about?
I never had that fit situation because my mom knew that Vice City was one of those dangerous type of games you play into for stealing cars and having sex with hookers and stuff like that. So I was blunt about it. I was like, Mom, this is a violent video game, you know? And she got it for me for $70, $80 at some unknown store here in my town, but that's about it. So
Okay, I never had that situation either, but the next video I'm going to show, it's a bunch of people's, the most creative lies they told people to get games that they were too young for.
okay.
I'll put it on Discord for you, and then we'll watch it together. Let's see. Okay. There we go. And then I'll play it for everyone live.
The times you lied to your parents in order to get the games you definitely weren't old enough for. Here are our favourite responses.
Wait a minute.
You devilish lot.
Oh, the bra and panties matches, yeah!
First up, we have Michael.
I missed those
There was this
matches.
game called Roadkill on the
Hold on, this isn't what
I told my parents that it was a
okay. Well, we lied because of the age rating. I wanted it full screen. That's
You don't see the two arrows? There it is. There you go. You click on it.
okay. So this is
Then click full screen again. To the left, to the right.
okay.
Can you start over, please?
Yeah, I will. Okay, so this is the best I can do.
Alright.
Hello, PlayStation fans. We asked you to tell us about the times you lied to your parents in order to get the games you definitely weren't old enough for. Here are our favourite responses. You devilish lot. First up, we have Michael. There was this game called Roadkill on the PS2. I told my parents that it was a street racing game and whoever lost was the roadkill. Told them it was rated M+ because of the cars blowing up if they crashed too much. Little did they know I was instigating gang wars over hookers.
Oh, you wasn't with the wrong. Oh.
Shut up.
The hell?
Next, pinned it all on his poor old dad. When I was 12, I convinced my aunt to let me buy Duke Nukem, Land of the Babes. I told her it was a present for my dad for Christmas. My dad was surprised when she asked him if the game was any good when we saw her after Christmas. We enjoyed the fact Tom's aunt was like, yeah.
What game was this called?
Dad likes babes, so this purchase makes complete sense.
Duke Nukem, Land of the Babes, or something.
Duke Nukem Land of Babes, my God.
Shane really took things to the next level. My parents wouldn't let me have any of the Grand Theft Auto games, so I saved up my money and when we went to Walmart, I bought a gift card. Later at home, I set up a Walmart account which said I was 20 and ordered them. I checked the mailbox every day before my parents got home, and when they arrived, kept them hidden for a long time before they found out. Hats off to you, Shane. You sneaky bastard. Daniel next had to quickly think on his feet. I was trying to convince my mum to buy me Saints Row. When she looked at the back of the box, she said that she wouldn't buy it for me, as it apparently had hidden.
Hey, James, I have to use the restroom. We'll be back in a minute. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I'll pause the video. We'll continue the video when he gets back.
Okay, go ahead, James.
Okay.
To pimping cars, which she believed, and I got the game. Technically, I wasn't wrong about the game having pimping cars. Dan's up next enjoying that new weather simulator all the kids are talking about. My parents got me GTA Vice City whilst not really knowing the full content in the game. My parents came in to watch me playing it. I tried very hard to just walk around the golf course, drive nicely, and show them the weather changes, etc. Of course, as soon as they were gone, I was putting out the chainsaw to rip everything in sight. Look at this, Dad. This kind, scantily clad lady is helping me fix the suspension. The story up next made perfect sense to Dave's mum. I told my mum that Manhunt was a game where a man was trying to hunt down his long-lost brother. She came into my room once when I was playing it. And I was midway through cutting a hole through someone's head.
Oh, God.
Dave quickly explained to his mum that he was performing emergency brain surgery. We wish the long-lost brother a speedy recovery. Patrick's up next. I had to convince my parents that a WWE game I was borrowing from a classmate was about amateur wrestling, as opposed to the adult-orientated stuff they'd seen when channel hopping. When I got home from school one day, my dad was furious. He marched me into my room where he had the game running. The game was paused on a bra and panties match, and I had absolutely no excuses. The arena is hot and you have to strip the women before they pass out? Yeah, there's no excuses there. And finally, here's a reminder from Charles that we can't always get what we want. I managed to purchase Soldier of Fortune on the PS2 from Game when I was about 13 in 2002. Mum walks in just as I'm turning some enemies' face to bolognese.
Oh, God damn.
No amount of pleading and showing her that the gore could be turned off allowed me to keep it. She marched down to the shop with me for a refund and to bollock the employee. A few weeks later, his mum was bollocking the bushes in the local park for supplying Charles with naughty magazines. So, did you ever lie to your parents to get an adult-rated game? Let us know your stories in the comments below.
I miss the broad pennies matches. Now, if you actually brought back broad pennies matches in today's world, someone will be crucified for bringing that about.
Yeah, but the thing is, so you never had to lie to your parents to get a game.
I just told my mom that GTA is a violent game. That's about it, and then she got it for me anyway.
Yeah, my parents never really cared what game I was playing either. They were letting my young brother play Grand Theft Auto games when he was like 8.
And mine was Mortal Kombat when I was 8 years old.
And when I was 8, let's see, that was 1995. Yeah, so that was like Sega Genesis, Sega CD. There weren't really that many inappropriate games out at the time, so... Don't
forget there's games like Nightmares and Rob Zombie's Twisted Metal and stuff like that, you know.
Back then?
Yeah, back in the 90s. The late 90s especially.
Well, the late 90s. I'm talking about the mid-90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now we got Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball and...
that was 5 years ago.
What?
That was 5 years ago before all the SJWs took over the internet.
Yeah, and then we have the Guy game, which is actually illegal. No, because one of the women that was at spring break, she lied about her age to get on the game. She was 17. So if you actually get her to strip, it's classified as child porn.
Really?
Even though she's 17.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
But yeah, and she lied about her age to get to be a model on the game.
Actually, there's lots of lawsuits towards her too.
So that game's illegal. Like even if you bring like the game into GameStop, they won't take it.
Of course not, because the girl should be sued
Yeah. So
and stoned to
but,
death
I mean,
by religious people, will say.
And the only other game I can think about that was really pushing the envelope was Playboy the game. 'Cause
Oh
you actually
yeah,
had
the
to take
PS2 game.
Yeah, you actually had to take pictures of naked women.
I didn't see that
because
part.
You actually had to do all parts of the magazine, and and one of them was getting pictures of a model.
I did not know about that part. I thought it was usually comical. I thought it was maybe like cartoony, the graphics.
It wasn't real. It was polygonal women that you were taking pictures of.
Okay.
But also, like I heard a story. I don't know if it's true about Nassau Community College. Apparently, there was a building in there that had like a gaming console, and like you could play games, and like someone was playing like Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, and he apparently got aroused while playing the game.
Okay, yeah, what happened?
And he was like, and let's just say he was relieving himself when he was found in that building.
Holy shit. Wait, wasn't that student lounge or something?
Huh?
Was the student lounge? Because I was at Nassau back in 2006.
I heard it was if I remember correctly, I think it was called the V building.
V building.
Remember all the buildings were named after letters?
Yeah, the A, B, S.
Yeah, the
whatever.
A through D cluster. The tower building was T, which had like all the offices.
Yeah, the financial aid.
I never went in like every single building on campus, but
Obviously,
I was told that it was the V building.
So that V
Apparently
building
they
is.
had a gaming console that you could play, and someone was playing Extreme Beach Volleyball. When that incident happened, that game was banned from being played in there.
Well, if it's a student lounge, I can understand, because obviously most of the students are still act like children, even though they graduate from high school. So I can understand the feeling. So
yeah, so I should have entered that building to see if there really was a game console in there. I never did, no matter how bored I got waiting for like if I had time between classes or whatever. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, guys, that's back in those days. It was pretty interesting to go to school and all. Unfortunately, those times are over, because now everything's at home or online. So, oh sure, the campus is still there. I'm sure they still have classes there to this day, but that is off, especially during the pandemic. So, hold on a second, guys. He'll be back in a minute.
Okay, I'm back.
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, that was so I guess to answer this question, we never had to lie to get a game we wanted.
Not necessarily, no.
You did lie when you went to SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, I think it was, from Blockbuster, and you sent back like Jet Moto 2.
Oh, when it comes to that's lying to get a free game, not lying to your parents. There's a difference. Yeah, there's a difference though, because I had ownership of a Blockbuster membership, so I took the risk. That was stupid me,
Yeah. Well, I told you about it. I was told it was a trick that would work.
Yes.
And then I let you be the guinea pig.
Well, actually, it was Kevin that told me that. Yeah, he told me
He's the one who told me, and then I told you.
Well, he told me directly, in a sense, because
Oh, he told you too directly also?
I believe so.
Because I know I told you when he told me that, and you were like, really? And then next thing I know, you tried to tell Fast One when you went to SmackDown and shut your mouth.
Oh, that's when I went. Kevin visited your house, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I able to hear that from Kevin as well. So.
Okay. Well, that guy is dead to me anyway. So
I understand.
moving on.
Sorry about that.
Well, actually things got better when I stopped hanging out with him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the next topic: 20 Bethesda games came to Xbox Game Pass recently. Would you like to know the full list of all the new games coming to Game Pass?
If you like, that's fine.
Okay. They are as follows: Dishonored Definitive Edition, Dishonored 2, Doom 1993 version, Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Special Edition, The Elder Scrolls Online, The Evil Within, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas, Prey, Rage 2, Wolfenstein The New Order, Wolfenstein The Old Blood, Wolfenstein Youngblood. The new games that just came Game Pass, I think like a couple days ago. Yeah, starting March 12th. So these games came to Game Pass yesterday.
I see.
And with the exception of like a couple, with the exception of like with like Morrowind and Oblivion, you have to play Game Pass on either PC or Xbox One.
Okay.
And Elder Scrolls Online as well. But the rest of the games you can get on Game Pass whether you play on console, PC, or the cloud.
Okay.
So basically, if you're not going to Game Pass to play the Elder Scrolls series, you can use any means to get. You can play Game Pass on any means, and the game should be available.
I see.
I feel most people would be using PC or console anyway. So what do you think of those 20 games being added to Game Pass?
I must say, here's the situation. I will buy the Game Pass along with my Gold membership if and only if they keep adding games. Don't withdraw them. Don't mix it up. Just keep adding game after game for long periods of time, and I'll keep buying Game Pass. But if they're going to keep doing this back and forth, like take, give, and take all the time, every time, then I'm not going to buy it after a while. I still have like 2 months. I still have like 2 months left of Game Pass and Ultimate altogether, but still. But I'm not going to pay $200 just to have catalog of games be taken in and out of itself. You know?
Okay, are there any of these games? I know you played Prey. I think you made a gameplay video of that. Did you not?
Yes, I did. It was all right. I mean, it was strange and weird at the beginning, but by the time you keep playing that, it's just your average game. So,
are there any other games from this list that you would be interested in playing that you haven't had the chance yet?
Well, I do want to play Fallout 4. You know, if I recall correctly, that's Bethesda, right?
Okay.
Because I heard that was the best. Yeah. That was like the beginning of the worst, not the worst game, but the beginning of the declination of game quality from Bethesda themselves. So.
Yeah, I played Fallout 4. I didn't like it too much, but it wasn't as bad as Fallout 76.
Yes.
But I mean, like, would you be interested in trying out The Evil Within or any of the Doom games?
Oh yeah, I really want to buy Evil Within 1 and 2. And it should be a third one coming out sometime this decade. It's supposed
I didn't hear about that.
Well, I tried to research it last night or two, and
right.
I see that there's possibilities of a sequel, but it wasn't a confirmed matter. There was no confirmation about the matter. It's just rumors for the time being.
They have a trailer for The Evil Within 3.
I think that's like one of those fan-made ones.
Oh, okay.
When was it released?
It says Inagable Games. Inagable Gamer is the uploader.
That's not definitely not from Bethesda or from Xbox or even from Sony.
Okay. Let me pull up the history of the Evil Within franchise.
There's only been two games that came out, one in 2014 and one in 2017, 2018, give or take.
Okay, so there's a So I mean, the way it looks, there is. Let me see. Is there going to be an Evil Within 3, despite selling fairly well and not really getting anything horribly wrong? We would not see a third game announced, teased, or even so much as hinted by the time of this writing of this piece in 2020. This was back in June. The Evil Within is a series of 2 games that got a lot of things right and a few things wrong. Yeah, so there's no definitive proof that there's going to be a third one.
Oh yeah.
But I played the first one. I only played it once, but
okay.
But I played like the first couple of levels. It was I wish I had stuck with it. But yeah, so I mean, as for these games that are coming out, I mean, I guess I would like Doom 2, Doom 3. I wouldn't be too interested in Doom 93 because that would probably be like the Super Nintendo version,
yeah,
which just didn't have all the levels. It had like the first 7.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless I don't know, maybe the original Doom, the full Doom, is already on Game Pass. These are just the ones being at. What was that?
It should be the Doom. The first Doom was on Game Pass for a few months to a couple of years, and by Doom 2 came out, Doom Eternal, they took the first Doom off the Game Pass. So now you gotta buy straight up.
So it was probably on there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying because I mean I had like the BFG edition for PlayStation 3, which had all 3 Dooms, every difficulty, and I honestly never got. I got like to like level 12 before I stopped playing. But I never gave Doom 2 or 3 a chance.
Right.
Okay, so talking about games that may be appearing on consoles or online services, Madden may be appearing on the Switch for the first time ever. Madden has never been. Madden has, ever since the Switch came out, they've never had a Madden game. But it looks like Madden 21, whoop-de-doo, may be the first one making it to the Switch. What are your thoughts on the Switch not having received a Madden game yet?
Well, to be honest with you, ever since I would say Nintendo's Game Boy, I kind of stopped keeping track of Nintendo products mainly. I still peek from time to time to see what's up with them, but now with the Switch, it looks like one of those revolutionary type of systems where I could play on to go, and if they brought Madden into the game, I would play it. I would definitely play
me too.
If they allow it to on that game system, that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. You would think like any sports game really would be a surefire what's the word I'm looking for? Would be a no-brainer to appear on Switch. But there still hasn't been a game on what was the last game released on Wii U? The last Madden game.
I'm not sure.
Madden games on Wii U. Okay, so I think Madden 13 was the last one to appear on Nintendo console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I put Madden games on Wii U and Madden 13 popped up. So I did not know that Nintendo was not getting the sports games like Sony and Microsoft were.
Really?
Apparently. And there's apparently been no football game on the Switch yet, which is kind of weird.
Hmm.
But I mean, are they really going to want to play Madden 21? Like, I got Madden 19 before the BS started getting, Madden 20 was too expensive, and when I saw what problems Madden 20 and 21 had, it's like, thank God I got 19. Madden 20, so it's kind of like, okay, now you might be getting the football game that you should have gotten, but, these games are also at an all-time low as far as quality goes.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to add to that, or?
No, that'll be all.
Okay. Next topic. We only got a couple more. The Nintendo Switch Pro might have exclusive games. There's no definitive answer on that either way.
Okay.
But the Switch, let me see if that's been updated. Will Nintendo Switch Pro have exclusive games? It could have exclusive games. Let me see. Let me pull this up. Rumors on a 4K enabled Switch Pro have been ramping up as of late, with expectations that will be announced and available later. However, not everyone will necessarily be happy about it, because while it's believed to be backwards compatible with existing Switch games, which work on the two models, a main Switch and the Switch Lite, it could also end up with several exclusives that current owners won't be able to play. Mm-hmm. According to one industry insider, Nate Drake, who posted on Recent Error, third parties are working on exclusive titles for the new version of the console. There will be some select exclusives, especially from third-party partners. However, at the start at least, there may not be a big number of them. He does claim to know of at least one. It does stand to reason. If the Switch Pro turns out to be capable of 4K when in dock mode, and has a much beefier processor, developers will want to eke out as much of the new platform as they can. This could leave the existing Switch technology behind somewhat. Just look at Cyberpunk 2077, for example, of a game running across two console generations. And it's not like Nintendo doesn't have a history of this. The DS family was famed for generational leaps, with each having both backward compatibility but also their own dedicated exclusives. One thing we're pretty sure of, though, Nintendo's own first-party titles will be cross-generation for a considerable while yet, while third-party publishers will be foolhardy to turn their back on console that's already in more than 80 million hands around the world. So yeah, it looks like the new version of the Switch Pro, is going to have games that that will be exclusive, but it looks like it might be only games that need the more processing power.
Obviously, because it's going to be a bigger system by default, if it's going to be a more powerful console. So
yeah, I don't know about bigger, but it's definitely going to be more powerful. And
well, it has to, because obviously, if you think about it, because the Xbox One and the PS4, they may not be the best of the best systems, but you can buy a system and play games on it gracefully to some extent, as long as there's no bugs and mishaps with the game itself that was not made in full prior to finalization of the product. So as long as you can play it on both the Switch and the Switch Pro, that would be a great double whammy right there. But like with PS4 Pro and PS4 regular, it really depends on what game you're playing it on and what that would be the best performance. So
yeah, but I mean, they shouldn't they? If say the game is it does say the normal Switch isn't powerful enough, shouldn't they just make a budget version for people who don't have the Switch Pro?
Indeed, yes, they call Switch Pro Lite.
But I'm saying, make a less powerful version that doesn't need the Switch, even if you need to take out some stuff.
You got a point. But then you have to also understand too is that means not every game you play on the less powerful console or the less powerful handheld device it's not going to perform well. Because now what we did with our last podcast episode, we discussed that Xbox Series S had less performance issues than the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, it was less powerful than it was. Yeah, I remember that. It was less powerful. It actually wasn't as powerful as there was a question if it was powerful enough as even like the current like last gen consoles.
Yeah, so I will get the full quality, even if I have to pay more money out of my pocket for it. Just make sure you fix the game, polish the game, make the game sustainable, make the game very efficient, and that's it. If you got a decent product that's worth the 60, 70, if not $80, depending on what edition you buy, it's still a good game, I will buy it. But for the last couple of years at least, what I see is that it's all about making money rather than about making a good product from these gaming companies. Whether it's shareholders involved or it's just plain like money grubbing people at the top.
Okay, so I mean, I guess if it needs if it needs more processing power, then you just really have then you really got no choice. It has to be a pro exclusive. I just wonder how many people are going to be making the games pro exclusive when it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, because we're still in the ninth generation for the last a few months for the last PS5 and Xbox Series, but for the last 4 or 5 years almost with the Nintendo Switch. So it's time for Switch to switch over to a new system, and/or which that's what they're trying to do right now with the Switch Pro, but. It's just like the PS4 Pro. It's like, what's the only difference is that it's more powerful and more efficient and plays better graphics. That's about it.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying, while it's a good reason in theory that only do it if your games aren't if the current Switch isn't powerful enough, then make it a pro exclusive. I just have a feeling once we start seeing pro exclusives, you're going to see games that could run on the Switch, normal Switch, being pro exclusives after a while also.
Mm-hmm.
And the last topic that we have for tonight, the PS5 will have a slim console in 2023.
Okay.
So they're doing it again with the incremental upgrades every couple of years. What do you think? What do you think about this?
It's the usual mantra, It's like the PlayStation system because the PlayStation 1 had the dual shock controller back in 1998, 2 or 3 years after the initial release of the PlayStation's console. So they did the same thing with PS2 with the backwards compatibility, as well as upgraded to the PS Slim for PS2 Slim. That is. They got
right.
PS3 with their triple backwards compatibility of PS1, 2, and 3, and then later models started to become smaller, and then only play up to going back to PS2 only. So it's kind of like they're playing a game of catch up / hit and miss. I wish it would be nice if they do backwards compatibility for all their previous systems, go all the way back to PlayStation 1 and original Xbox, but that's not going to happen with these consoles for the time being. So hopefully in the future they will see that matter for other consoles like the 360 and beyond. So.
All right, I'm going to reiterate my opinion from how last generation was handled. I thought releasing the PS4 and Xbox One base models was stupid.
Right.
I said I don't care how long the consoles have been out. We had the 2008 bank crisis, bank bailout, which delayed new consoles coming out. I mean, it's so stupid. You have the PS4 and Xbox One base models come out. A couple years later, you had PS4 Pro and Xbox One S, which really showed the differences from the base models. And it's like, why didn't you just wait a couple of years?
Well, the Xbox One and PS4 models came out. The original ones came out back in 2013. So that's what 5 years after the banking crisis. So I guess you can say people are starting to recover again from the economy and think that okay.
But it wasn't that. But what I'm saying is, in terms of like graphics and stuff, it wasn't that much of an upgrade. Then when the incremental, when the PS4 Pro and Xbox One S came out, that was the upgrade that people should have been able to buy. And I'm saying, it, in my opinion, it really wasn't that. It really wouldn't have been that much of a financial crisis if they had just waited a couple of years and released the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S as the base consoles. Because then Xbox could still release the Xbox One X later. But you were paying for. But I just don't like that you were paying for a PS4 or Xbox One base model, and it wasn't that much more powerful than what you were already gaming on.
Oh yeah.
And I just think I just think with the pandemic, it's the game developers and console developers, they're acting like it's business like normal.
It's all about I don't keep repeating myself to the audience at large, but it's just that today's developers and game makers, they're being pressured to act like the corporations now, or they submitted themselves to those corporations, and now they go to every whim to take out certain content, or to mess with certain content, or to mess with the quality of the content. So it's like, they gotta play both sides of both the consumer of the product as well as the maker of the product. So.
Right. So anyway, that was the podcast. The next time we'll be online will be March 27th. We'll try to start at 9 p.m. Eastern. Anything else to say before we finish tonight?
I was just saying that hopefully by the end of March you'll see my review of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So be on the lookout for that by the end of next month. This month, the latest, March 2021.
Okay. So we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night, everyone.
Good night.